Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we are going to be doing another 7-round mock draft for the Detroit Lions. Now I know it's been not very long since I did one of these, but a lot has changed. That whole Cam Sutton fiasco happened and we also signed Kevin Zeitler. So I think those are two pretty big events in team building and I think it warrants a new mock draft. So we are going to go ahead and get into this and yeah, let's get it started. Alright, we are here at pick 29, and this is how the chips have fallen for the draft board. So, this is what it looks like here. Top guy, Jerzon Newton, we had Tyler Guyton and Darius Robinson. Yeah, this is an interesting draw. It's not ideal, I wouldn't say. So I think what I'm going to do is look for a trade, because Jerzon Newton was the perfect fit for the Lions a couple weeks ago, but after the DJ Reader signing, it's just not top priority, and I really want this first round pick to be used on a guy who's going to be able to contribute immediately. And DJ Reader, he's on a 2-year deal, so it's not like Newton would only have to wait a second. So I am going to look for a trade here, because there's not any immediate high-impact guys I really like. And I really like this offer for Washington, actually. Move back 11 spots, get an extra third and a fifth. We'll just flip through and see if there's anything nicer. No, not. See, this is just unrealistic. You're just gonna get like 6 picks. You don't even want 6 picks. It's just random stuff. But yeah, I do like this one from Washington. We're gonna go ahead and take it real quick and move back 11 spots and still pick up a similar caliber of player here at the 40th overall selection. Now let's look at our board. We have this guy here out of Florida State, very fun prospect. We have Kamari Laster out of Georgia, a guy that I like a lot, and Ennis Rakestraw, also a guy I like a lot. See, I'm thinking about going with Leggett, but I'm not sure, because there's other needs too. Like, let's see, offensive line, you could probably get him later. Cornerback, there's some options. Okay, I think cornerback is going to dry it pretty quickly, so I'm actually going to go ahead and take a corner here. I'm going to take Kamari Laster out of Georgia. I like this guy. He's got good size, good frame there, very athletic, and I haven't done like as much scouting on him as I have some others, but from what I've seen, he's a good corner prospect. He has plenty of tools, and he started for an elite defense. And yeah, I think this is great value for him here. He can sneak into the end of the first round, but for now, we will be happy to grab him at 40. Okay, here we are at pick 61, and the top of the board doesn't look too promising, honestly. Edger and Cooper and Junior Colson, 2 good players, 2 guys we don't really need. I think I'm going to look at guard prospects at this slot. It seems like a pretty nice time to get a guard. And yes, Christian Haynes is still on the board in this scenario. Realistically, he probably goes higher than this, but hey, it's a mock draft, and I will be happy to take him here, because yes, even with Zeitler and Glasgow having locked up the starting spots, those two, they're both old, and it's hard to say how many years they're going to play here, so we want to lock up one of our interior offensive linemen of the future. And, yeah, seems like a good use of the pick, so we're going to go ahead and take him there, and wait just a few slots for our next pick. Now, with this pick, I either want to look edge or wide receiver, and yeah, you can see the positional needs up here. They did get this one right, it looks like. So edge or wide receiver, because we need a guy to pair with Hutchinson, or we need a guy who is really going to boost that offense up. So let's look at edge first. We have Jonah Ellis and Adisa Isaac, 2 interesting prospects that are probably pretty good value here. And at wide receiver, no one I really like quite yet, but I'm thinking about it. So if you look at this whole board, it is interesting, very interesting draw. But I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Jonah Ellis here. Edge out of Utah provides a nice partner for Aiden Hutchinson on the other side of the line there. You're going to have Ellis, you're going to have Reader, McNeil, and Hutchinson, and I like the sound of that a lot. We're going to go ahead and select him here. And right there, our next pick is actually only a few slots away. And this time, I'm going to go ahead and look at wide receiver. Because, yeah, look at the gap between this pick and our next pick. And I'm not really willing to settle for a different guy. I think the time to get a difference-making wide receiver is within the top 3 rounds. So that's what I'm going to do. I like Corley a lot, and I like Tez Walker as well. But I think the pick that appeals me the most here is going to be Jalen McMillan out of Washington. Because this guy, he's a big-bodied receiver. He can play the X. he can really go up and get the ball. He really impressed on a Washington team that also featured Romeo Dunze, who obviously took most of the eyes away from McMillan. But McMillan had a really impressive season. He's had a really impressive career, and he honestly brings everything to the table that the Lions need him to. And I think he will definitely be gone by here. And the Lions really could use that wide receiver. If St. Brown goes down, then what are you going to do? You're going to have some problems. So, yeah, we're going to take a wide receiver here, replace Josh Reynolds, and get the fit. Okay, here we are, 79 picks later, and we are at selection 152. Now, we are starting to get into the territory of you're just kind of taking a flyer, taking a guess, betting on the upside of a guy. So what I'm going to do here is, I thought about looking at a safety at first, but I don't think I'm actually going to go that way, because when I'm looking at the board, I see Roger Rosengarten is still on the board. And this guy played tackle for Washington, as you can see, and he was really good. He obviously played on that line with Troy Fontenot, who's probably going to be a first-round pick. But this guy's good. He is a very good college tackle, and I think he projects as a pretty solid NFL tackle as well, or at least somewhere on the line. And I really like this fit, honestly. We don't really have a plan in place right now for Taylor Decker after he retires. I don't think Colby Sorsdahl is going to be playing tackle. He's probably more of a guard, if he is ready, even, that is to say. So I really like the idea of picking up a capable backup tackle who could potentially develop into the starter, and I think Rosengarten is exactly that kind of guy. So we will actually go ahead and take him here. There's no real other prospects that kind of entice me with this kind of value. So yes, he will be our choice here. Alright, just a few slots later at 164, I think now is the time probably to look for just some general depth. And I am going to go with this guy out of Oregon State, I think, because I'm taking a safety anyway. We need a safety. Well, I shouldn't say we need one, because our starting spots are in good hands with Kirby Joseph and Ifeatu Melifonwu, but our backup spots are literally non-existent. We do not have any backup safeties. And I really like this guy. I think he has the makings of a solid NFL safety. I am not going to try to pronounce his name, probably for the best. And we will go ahead and take him here to provide some depth in our secondary. Alright, and here we are to finish off the draft. The pick 201, I think I'm going to look at a backup offensive weapon here. We're not looking for starting production at this slot, obviously. I think I'm probably going to look at a tight end. I thought about a linebacker, but I'm a big proponent of just continuing to invest in that offense. The better your offense is, the better your defense doesn't have to be, essentially, which is not always something I subscribe to, but I think about it. So we are going to look at a tight end here. And I think A.J. Barner is probably the choice here. He's 6'6", I think. He's a pretty big guy. Not a lot of difference between these two guys here, but I'm going to go with the fan favorite. So he's going to give us a backup to Sam Laporta because, I don't know, is James Mitchell getting it, is he getting it done? Is he cutting it? I don't know. We haven't really heard about him, so probably not. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take our backup tight end right here. And just a couple picks later, let's see what we go here. It's obviously another depth selection. I think I'm going to go defensive lineman. And when I look at this, let's see. I think I like this guy from Iowa. He has some pass rush punch. He played on a school that is, I shouldn't say notorious, that is known for producing very good defensive line talent and very good, just general NFL talent, I should say. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a good pick. I think it's going to be, quality defensive linemen to sit behind Reeder and Aleem. So we're going to go ahead and take Logan Lee here. Alright, and with our final pick, you may or may not know what I'm going to do, but I am going to go ahead and go to the kicker tab and take us a kicker. And yes, I'm a big proponent of this, because, I don't know, it just makes sense, honestly, because not only are you not going to have to fight other teams to sign a kicker as an undrafted free agent, you also, there's a pretty good chance you aren't going to sign the guy that you take at the slot anyway if he's like any other position. So it seems like a wise move, honestly, to take a kicker with a selection. Make sure you get him on that rookie contract for 4 years. Make sure he's locked in with you. You don't have to fight other teams for him. You lock up your kicker of the future. You don't have to, go to any more trouble. It's just that simple. and it makes sense for everybody. So we're going to go ahead and take this guy out of Alabama. I've watched plenty of Alabama games, see him have a big leg, pretty clutch. Can just get it done, get it done across the board. Hopefully brings the Lions some consistent kicker play, which is something they sorely miss after they have not had Matt Prater for quite a while. Yeah, it really does make a difference. Having a good kicker in the NFL is night and day. Just ask the Ravens. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and take him here and complete our draft. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. There is our 7-round Detroit Lions up-to-date mock draft. Now, real quick, I will go ahead and break down what is going on pick by pick. So Kamari Lassiter, he is going to be a big player in our secondary. Obviously with Cam Sutton doing what he did, he is out of the door. And this guy is going to be great youth. He's going to be great depth, great upside, and he will play as needed. Hopefully grow into that starting cornerback 1 kind of role within a year or 2. We'll have to see how he adjusts, but he definitely has the potential to do it. Haynes, obviously great interior line depth, rotate in as needed and take over when Zeitler or Ragnar or whoever steps away from the team. So that seems like a good pick for the future. Ellis will play across from Hutchinson. McMillan will take the place of Josh Reynolds and give us youth on a rookie contract. Rosengarten, Decker's backup, and his eventual replacement, if it comes to that. We don't know if it will, but it might, given age and contract details. Depth safety, which you don't have. Depth tight end, depth defensive line. This guy and this guy, honestly, might not even make the team. But hey, it's just a mock. You take the guys you want. And then our hopeful kicker of the future. A kicker I like, guy out of Alabama. Go ahead and stop that rotating door of kickers, because it just hasn't been working, and I don't see it working until we get a guy that we can invest in and count on. So yeah, here's our 7 rounds. I think I took care of the roster needs and the roster's future needs pretty well, because you can't just invest in what you think is a need right now. You have to invest in what you think is going to become a need soon, so it doesn't. Because if you could take care of problems before they become problems, you are going to be in great shape. But yeah, that is going to be about it for today's video, everybody. I mixed it up a little bit from last time. I will probably continue to mix it up as I do more mock drafts as we get closer to the draft. I really like doing these things, and I hope you enjoy watching them, and I will see everybody next time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.